In today's video, we are going to talk about Reseller Assistance, a US-based virtual assistant solution for resellers. I always save the best for last, so stick around till the end for an exclusive discount code just for you. What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching the Reseller Mom Show, where this channel is all about getting more done, making more money, and staying sane while raising kids and reselling online. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you will consider it. This is going to be all about reseller mom content, deep dives into reseller topics like this one, virtual assistants, haul videos, what sold, and more. Now, let's get started with Reseller Assistance. So, this channel is all about getting more done, making more money, and staying sane while raising kids and reselling online, right? Right. So, for me, I feel like I have to cover a lot of bases and let people know about a lot of options when it comes to being a reselling mom and wanting to grow your business and get more done while under time constraints of being child-free and just time constraints in general. And for me, one of the things that constantly falls by the wayside is cross-posting to more platforms than my main two. My main two are eBay and Poshmark. And I was on Kidizen for a while, and then I stopped. I was on Mercari for a while, and then I stopped. And it's mainly just due to the lack of time. So I really have been wanting to get back on Mercari. Sorry, driving. Really been wanting to get back on Mercari and just really can't find the time. And I know it's like, well, just spend 5 minutes and list 2 items and call it a day. And it's like, yes, in theory, that sounds right. But then something else happens and something else happens, and I put something before and I put something after it, and it just doesn't happen. And so obviously, you know that I use virtual assistants. But my virtual assistants are in the Philippines, and so they cannot post for me on Mercari because they can't access the website. So I've, really known that I need to find a US-based virtual assistant to help me cross-post to Mercari, or I need to do it myself. And I had recently been on Instagram, and I saw posts from the Reseller Assistants, and it's at Reseller Assistants, and I don't know what made me go, and I checked out their profile, and then I reached out to them and said, hey, I would really love to learn more about how you can help me, what your pricing is. Maybe this is the time for me to kind of like sink my teeth into this and get somebody to help me. So I had a nice chat with David, and it's him and his wife, and I'll tell you more specifics in a minute about them and their journey and their company. But basically, David was really awesome. His whole goal is to do exactly what I need. Basically, help resellers get some more of their time back by doing their cross-posting for them or doing new listings even for them. And so that's what I needed. And I explained to him, kind of what I was looking for, what my general thoughts were, what kind of, items I wanted him to cross-post for me. And we came up with a plan, and he helped me out. And I'm letting you know about him. And so this is a sponsored video. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Reseller Assistants. I appreciate the help and the work that you've done. It was great and truly a super help. So I'm excited to share all of this with you and give you kind of, how it worked out. So stay tuned for the full story of how I worked with Reseller Assistants to get me back on Mercari and get me a sale in less than a day, and just help me feel like, yes, I should be delegating this. It is possible to continue my Mercari journey with the help of virtual assistants from the Reseller Assistants. So I had a conversation with David at the Reseller Assistants, and it's him and his wife, Megan. They've been full-time resellers for a couple years now, and they have a 3-year-old, which oddly enough has the same birthday as my son, so that was fun. And then they just have another little baby who's only a few months old. And so with all of that going on, they felt the pain just like I do, just like a lot of us do, reselling parents. And so they decided to kind of use all of their reselling knowledge, but go on a service route, basically, instead of continue to be full-time resellers to go helping full-time resellers, but they can do it in a more manageable fashion by being virtual assistants. So they know how to list. They've been selling on eBay, on Poshmark, and Mercari, so they know them in and out, and they're bringing that expertise to us to help us get more done and make more money. So it was really good to chat with him because it was like he said one thing, I said another thing. We were both in total agreement. It made perfect sense. So I explained to him a little bit about my Poshmark account, my Mercari account, what I was looking to do, how many listings, what my expectations were, and he kind of filled me in on what they're able to do as far as timeline goes. So their pricing is 75 cents for cross-posting and $1 for new listings, which I think is extremely reasonable and on target for a US-based virtual assistant. Obviously, if you're working with someone outside of the US, and I do, I pay a little bit less than that, but they're not able to help me in this way on Mercari. So I thought that was spot on. And as far as his cross-posting, he said that he can usually do 100 items. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, but for the numbers, they used to stay in my head. They don't anymore. So for cross-posting, under 100 items, he said can take between 24 to 48 hours to complete, and about 50 new listings he can turn around in about 24 hours. And that's what he did for me. I gave him my information. Basically, I gave him the links to the Poshmark items that I wanted, cross-post, because I have a lot, and so I wanted him to give him specifically which ones. So I gave him the links to the Poshmark items that I wanted cross-posted. I did not have to provide my Poshmark login because he can just see it, from the website. So that was good. And then I did have to give him my Mercari login, but what he suggested, which I thought was a great idea, was to, before I give him a password, change it to something basic and generic and temporary. And then when he's done with his work, change it back to my normal one, which I thought was a good idea, and that's what I did. So I changed it for something that I could tell him that was like easy, and then when he was done, I changed it back to mine. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I gave him my login for Mercari, and then I just told him like the basics that apply for everything, like use the pricing on Poshmark. I do free shipping. This is my zip code for the free shipping. The weights are all in there. And so basically from the listing, he had everything he needed to cross-post it, except for those couple little bits of like where it was coming from and how to do the shipping part. So I provided all that in just like a little email, and he got it done in less than 24 hours. And then less than 24 hours from that, I got my first sale. And I mean, immediately I could tell he had done it because I was getting all kinds of likes notifications from Mercari. So I already knew it was happening. But then when he said he was done, I looked at it. Everything looked good. The pictures turned out, fine from cross-posting and carrying them over. All the information was correct. It was done in a timely manner. He was super nice. So I have no complaints, nothing bad to say. It was a great experience. And I think that, overall, I would totally do it again. Right now, it did kind of spark me, so I'm kind of doing them myself a little bit. But I do think when I get a few other things ironed out, I may start to, have more and more transferred over to Mercari. I'm just really in the middle of a clearance and declutter on the other two sites, so I don't want to complicate things any further. But David was great. I'm sure his wife does the work the same way. Fantastic. As their team grows and as they get more business, I'm sure they'll be able to maintain the same quality, and kind of take on more and more clients. But if you're thinking about this, if you want to try to hire a virtual assistant and you're doing it for the first time, I know I have my virtual assistant series and how to hire a virtual assistant going on. And I've mentioned this a couple times in a few different videos. Start with something that's more manageable. Like, you don't have to go out to the Philippines through some website that you don't know and hire somebody that you don't know that speaks a different language just to get more done in your business. There are ways to get it done, and this is a really viable option. I haven't seen too many others. I know that there are others probably out there. This is just one that I've made a relationship with now. And so I'm sharing it with you in an effort to see if it's helpful to you. And I think it would be if you're not physically able to get the cross-posting to Mercari done right now. If you are doing it now and just want to lighten your load, that's a different story. But know then you're basically just opting for doing less work and it will cost you money. If you're someone that physically can't do it, it's not going to cost you any more work. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but hopefully bring you more sales. And so, it's a great way to start with 10 listings. Start with 20 listings, start with 5, but get your foot in the door and see how it works for you, and know that they were resellers before, so they understand everything and know exactly where you're coming from as far as, a parent perspective, a time perspective, and a reseller perspective. And that's what I kind of really liked about it. So now I'm at the rambling point, but basically I just wanted to give them a little bit of exposure because I thought it was a pleasant experience working with them. I thought they did a great job, and my whole mission is to help you get more done and make more money. I just feel like I made the leap to use virtual assistants, and I know that there are a lot of people that are wanting to do it but are scared or just don't think they can. And so this is a great first step. This is a great way to start, because you can, DM, go on Instagram at Reseller Assistants and DM David and just say, hey, the Reseller Mom Show sent me. If you do that, you get a discount. How much did you tell me? 20%. 20% off your first service. Sorry, I had to refer. And just let them know that the Reseller Mom Show sent you for you to get 20% off your first service, and tell him exactly what you're looking for. And the thing too is that, and I'm inferring, but I'm keeping the other virtual assistants that I have that do my normal basic work for me. And I feel a responsibility to them because I have a certain amount that I've quoted them, and then I say, you're going to do a certain amount of listings for me every week. And while I'm sure that David and Megan would like that, I also think that they would understand if you wanted to try it and you did 5 listings to start with, and then maybe you didn't come back to them for a little bit. And then maybe you tried it again, or maybe you built up slowly over time. Because I know he asked me, did I want them all posted in one day, or did I want them dripped, so you get that daily boost every single day. So if I signed up with him for 10 listings, he could do 1 over 10 days. He could do all 10 in one day. He could do 2 over 5 days, however you want to set it up. And I think that's great too, because you could, know that you have a fixed amount in mind, but stretch it over a period of days and really see how, it works out for you as far as getting going on Mercari. And, if it's a new platform for you, you have to give it a little bit of time. And I think that's what's hard. I think that's what's difficult for people when they want to employ a virtual assistant, to put out that money, front load that money, but then not necessarily get anything back for a little while. It turns out that I got 1 sale in a day, and that was great, but I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought it was going to take a little bit of time before I got my first sale. So that was awesome. I also had a presence on there, had some reviews built up, but I'm still a relatively small seller on Mercari compared to, how I am on Poshmark and eBay. So there's a lot to consider with it. I'm more than happy for you to pick my brain if you want to ask me any more specific questions about my experience with the reseller assistants. But again, they have all the praise in the world for me. I thought it was a great experience. Thought David was nice, and I like what they're doing as far as realizing what's best for their family at this point in time, and bringing their experience, still staying within the community, but helping us in a different way. And I think that's really cool. So go follow them on Instagram at Reseller Assistants. I'll put it in the description below. I'm also going to do a post on this in Instagram as well, so you can probably find it there. And I'm just kind of thinking out loud. And let them know that the Reseller Mom Show sent you, and you'll get 20% off your first service. So I wish you luck. I hope you'll give it a try. I hope that they get tons of business from this, because they deserve it. And thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And my goal is always to help you get more done, make more money, and stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. And I hope this video helped in that effort. Have a great day.